All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Relationship Thursday. We are here. We in
Yeah,
the house. We in the
we are
house.
in the
You
house. We're
can't
in the
see
house.
us. My phone about to
There
drop.
we go. There we
Mm-hmm.
go. What's happening? What's up, Blamley? What's up, YouTube? We are here for another Relationship Thursday, another good old conversation. How are
Yes,
you
we are.
feeling, my dear?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling
You doing good?
feeling connected. I'm
Oh,
feeling hot too, though.
oh, I need that.
You do?
Yeah.
Here.
No, I don't need that. I need the cord.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Graham? All right, y'all. We are here. We are in the room. Whether you're watching this live or on replay later on YouTube, we're gonna get into some things, and it is a conversation that you really want to pay attention to, because when you don't pay attention to stuff, stuff be happening.
I do.
That's literally
Mm-hmm.
what we're gonna be talking about tonight. Stuff that we just don't be paying attention to. Things that we just don't be looking at. We don't
Yeah,
be
Joe.
addressing. We be ignoring. Okay, I'm using all of my black vernacular tonight. This is what we be doing. And tonight we want to get into it and talk a little bit more about some of the things that we do to get away from the issues. But before we do that, what's up, IG? What's going on YouTube and Blamily? This right here is my amazing, dapper, debonair husband. I say, my boo baby.
This right here is my red fox, my queen thing,
You
my
sound old when you
beautiful,
say that.
my red
My
fox.
red fox.
I said,
Like an
oh,
old man.
it's my baby, y'all. This is my wifey, y'all.
I come over this way.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So we're the co-founders of Black Love and Marriage, and we talk about all things relationships. We are trained therapists, relationship coaches, and every Thursday, for a long time now, for years, we come and
Hmm.
we chop it up, talking about an issue or a situation. So we can follow us at All Things Black Love and Marriage. You can also check out the Relationship Cheat Code podcast on YouTube. And for now, we are going to get into tonight's subject matter. What's going on,
Yeah.
y'all? What's the subject matter, baby?
Yeah, so tonight, y'all, we're talking about five ways that unresolved conflict destroys your relationship. Five ways that unresolved issues actually destroy your relationship. And this right here, I want y'all to do me a favor. Type a one in the chat if you got some unresolved issues in your relationship. Do that for me. Type a one in the chat if you got some unresolved issues in your relationship. And I'm sure mostly everybody will probably put a one in the chat, which is perfectly fine.
Because everybody, yeah.
Yeah, we all got stuff. And so whether it be with you, yourself individually, or if it's with your partner, like it's stuff that sometimes be lingering in a relationship. And it can lead to disconnect, y'all. It can lead to disconnection. And so we want to speak on those things and just really indicate how it can actually lead to disconnect in a relationship. Now, peep this, y'all. So one of the things that I think is really important is that although many of you all have placed one in the chat and are indicating that there are some unresolved issues in your relationship, it doesn't mean that it's a doomsday for your relationship. Like it don't mean that it's over. Like you can't rebound, you can't reconnect, you can't build, you can't grow. What it does mean is that you want to pay attention. You want to pay attention because if there's things that are lingering up underneath the surface, then again, they can get bigger and bigger and bigger and lead to some more significant issues. It's almost like that stuff that y'all be sweeping up under the rug. Like it's dirt, it's dust balls, it's all sorts, it's paper up under there, but for whatever reason, you want to sweep it up under there because you don't want to either bend down to pick it up, or you don't want to sweep it into the dustpan, or you don't want to vacuum it. And so again, we talking about the stuff that's up under the rug. How many of y'all got stuff right now that's up under the rug?
Up under there.
Up under the rug,
And you
up under the
like,
couch in the family room,
you
up
ain't
under
trying to pull it
up
out
under the
either.
chairs in the dining room. Type of two in the chat if you got that. That's what I'm talking about today. We talking about that stuff. That stuff can lead to problems, y'all, significant problems in a relationship. And so we're trying to avoid those types of things from getting bigger.
So y'all, we talk about this a lot inside of the Blamley, or at least I've said it quite a bit. First of all, we need to understand and make a distinction between the kinds of issues that we experience in our relationships. Some of us think everything is drama. We're alarmed all the time. We always think there's some difficulty, and there is not. Sometimes some things are just what they are. What you doing? Okay, you
Moving
wanted
away
to
from
move
their
that out the
face.
way.
Yeah.
Okay, we think that because we have an issue, that that's an issue, not knowing that having some issues in a relationship is a part of what we do, is part of what's going to happen. And so there is perpetual conflict, y'all, and there is the solvable issues or solvable conflict. And so I just want to reinforce that for our Blamley members. I want everybody listening tonight to whatever is bothering you, whatever has been bothering you, whatever the latest issue has been, just ask yourself, is it perpetual or is it solvable? Okay. So a perpetual issue might be uh, something such as um, I think my husband should take out the trash. I don't think that I should have to take out the trash. I think he need to take out the trash on a regular basis. And even though this is not our issue, I'm just using this as an example. Even though he travels every other weekend, is gone, he need to figure out a way for the trash to get out.
Is
even
that perpetual or
e-
solvable?
even when he gets out. So this is actually an example of how it can be both. So I may always feel some type of way about the fact that my husband is like, so I'm gonna solve that joint by you take out the trash when I'm not here, and let's just alternate because I don't think it's that serious. I'm not into these gender roles, whatever. And so I don't think it's that big a deal. So we need to just solve it by coming up with a concrete solution. But there's something else going on underneath that. I may be feeling some type of way because I'm used to things being a certain way. I'm used to what my daddy did, and I think it means that you're taking care of me and you're taking care of the family, you're doing the man things around the house or whatever. So that's going to be a perpetual feeling that I have. We're going to have fundamental differences around how we were raised and what we believe, but we can still solve that issue. But it will always, I might always look at him a little funny when he said, "Did you get the trash last night?" Because you know it was your night. I might always look at him with a side eye like, "Negro, that's something that you should be doing." But
Hmm.
we still attend to it. And so there are some things that are solvable and there are some things that are perpetual. That example was showing you how that one issue can be a little bit of both. But many times things around personality, things around
Yeah.
preferences, how you did things and how they did things, all of that stuff it's y'all gonna never agree on these things.
Let me give you
And
a,
y'all need to not get caught up in that. Like take half the issues. No, the research says take about 70% of the issues that you have and just throw them to the side. I want y'all to really get that. Every time I say it, it always reminds me of how what the important things in life are. Take about 70% of the issues. The research shows that 70 plus odd percent, whatever the specific number is, of issues that couples have, particularly committed couples, married couples, are perpetual. They are fundamental to the differences in personality and the way that they may be opposites, the way they think about things differently. And so if that's the case, we know they're going to come up over and over again. Can you think of a perpetual issue that we have?
yeah. Sometimes
Oh, I know one.
your approach to the way that we do parenting is definitely a perpetual one. My wife, I'm inclusive as well, but my wife is,
You're inclusive in terms of what?
speaking specifically about the children.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'm inclusive, but the degree to which my wife is can sometimes be irritating. But she's a mommy. And so it's a
All mommies are
perpetual,
inclusive.
that's true. That's true. So it's a perpetual issue for me,
That's how
the
my
fact
mama was.
that she's okay with our youngest son, our 8-year-old, eating Ritz crackers in the bed with the sheets pulled back and getting crumbs like all of. I mean, she's perfectly fine with that, and so it's perpetual because that thing is it's a part of who she is. Like I'm open, I'm accepting, I'm willing,
I
and
just brushed
I'm
the
here, and
crumbs.
it's not that big of a deal. But those things like that, y'all, they
You
grate my
know?
nerve.
So some of y'all grew up and your parents said, "You don't come in our bedroom. This is our space." You knock on the
Yeah.
door and you stand in the hallway. And what do you need, son? What do you need, daughter? Right? Like, what you coming in here for? And others of
Sometimes I be
y'all,
doing. I be standing at the door
he
like
does that. I be
cracking
like,
it like
he cracked the
with
door
my
when
foot
they.
on the bottom of the door, like because y'all mofo's keep coming
You
in here
do.
like all back. We got 5 children, y'all.
And
So
that's
back
another
to
one.
back to back to back to
I'm
back.
like,
Y'all
come
heard how many
on
times I said
in.
that?
Come
Like,
on in.
yo,
Look, when my husband goes out of town, he go out of town, they
they
come
be all
in,
up in
they be
here.
in the bed with me, we be watching movies, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yes, we can come in here with you. Right. So those are perpetual things. They'll always be that way. My side of the room will always, I mean, I ain't gonna say always with such strength, but it has always been messier than his side. My closet has always been messier. If I got a lot going on, you might get lost in my closet. You might actually disappear. Always, you know what I'm saying? Like that has been perpetual. So again, It doesn't mean that you can't have some standards, some expectations, right? But my husband is kind of very specific and precise about certain things that I give zero fucks about. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care about it. And I have learned to just, when I see him going into that space, I just take a little deep breath. And sometimes we might do a little bit of, but for the most part, we don't do that no more. Because I just know that's how
We
he
do a
be.
little
You
bit of what?
know what I'm saying? A little bit like, what? But why are we gonna keep having that same conversation? So again, that was a long, drawn out way to bring your attention to the fact that some of y'all tripping off of stuff that's gonna always be a thing.
Hmm.
Just chill. Just understand that you don't want did you want to marry yourself? Do you want to be with someone who is just like you? You want to have the same values. You want to have the same morals and the same similar goals in terms of life and lifestyle and what you want to do and where you want to go and that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
you don't want the same person.
Yeah.
So I promise you that if you found somebody who met all of your little boxes in some of these perpetual issues, they'd be boring as hell in the things that really matter. The connection would be off. It'd be all kind of stuff that wouldn't really hit the way you need it to hit. So just remember that perpetual issues and solvable issues, there's a difference. And so we done talked about that quite a bit,
Hmm.
and we need to get into it. Hey, I don't like, why is the screen
I'm
look the
reading the
way it
comments
looks?
on YouTube.
Okay,
Like
but do I need to spread the whole
Katrina
thing
said,
out?
I told Larry our dream house got to have two master bathrooms.
Two master bathrooms. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Right. And so that's another good one. Some of y'all like the people that's like, why they need that? And they don't. My husband love to say that's a bougie issue. He don't need that, and she don't need that, and he don't need. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We got into a discussion the
I'm
other
like,
day, y'all.
they're people too, and they have desires and needs, and we can accommodate them. They be
Especially when
like,
you're dealing with boys,
they don't
like
need
you need to
that.
toughen them up. Like but you the mommy, so you do what you
Yeah,
do.
perpetual issues, perpetual issues. All right, y'all. So we're gonna take it and be a little bit more serious. Well, at least that was serious, but really, let's focus on some of the things that get in the way and some of the impacts of not addressing the issue. So there are perpetual issues that you need to stop tripping on. You just need to let it go. I mean, you might still get irritable. I still sometimes get hot, and then I'd be like, "Girl, why are you even doing that?" Like just move on because like you say, and you will never see eye to eye on this. So I just let it go. Whereas back in the day, I would argue him down over and over again over the same
Yeah,
stuff, and it's just
and
retarded. I mean, it's just
and
not good.
and real talk, it wasn't until recently. I don't know how recent, but where I actually started engaging you back and forth. Because my modus operandi in the past would be to just basically shut down
Uh-huh.
and not really
You
engage,
talking about on
not go.
perpetual issues? I don't even feel like we get into it like that on perpetual. Well,
No, what I'm saying is
with the
that
kids maybe.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that I would have this tendency to just fall back, and because I don't want to hear your mouth, I'm tired. And this is what a lot of dudes do. I don't want to hear your
Um,
mouth. I'm tired of hearing from you. It's a no-win battle. You can keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking until you actually win or until you prove your point. And so I'm falling back early on.
you don't fall back in your position, though. You say
I don't fall back in my position, but I'm falling back out of the
you just
conversation.
stop talking.
Yeah, I fall back out of the conversation. And so, but it hasn't, which then leads to a place where you're not even fully understanding my position because I'm not fully expressing it.
Exactly.
And
And it's
so,
not really addressed. The issue isn't
yeah,
addressed.
it's not fully addressed, and so
Yeah.
that right there is definitely a problem. But I have developed the ability to engage in the conversation, to ground myself, and to know that we can have these differences of opinion, these disagreements, and even these perpetual issues, and be all right. And
Hmm.
so, it is where it is. You got
Yeah.
to do the work though.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure, for sure. So, we got a direct message from someone saying thoughts on when the perpetual issues are just very serious and they're detrimental to the foundation of the union. So, this is literally what we're going to be talking about tonight, because when you have serious stuff this that you're just letting just hang out there and it's not addressed and
Hmm.
like that's a problem and actually quite dangerous for the relationship. So tonight we said that we're going to be talking about the five effects, the five effects of unresolved issues on your connection, not just your connection, but on your relationship in general. So let's hit it with number one.
All right, number one, y'all.
Number
So when it
one.
comes to the piece of unresolved issues having an effect on your relationship, the first one I want to lift up is the diminishment of emotion, the diminishing of emotional safety. Based off of there being an erosion of trust.
Yeah,
And
trust.
so,
Yeah, trust.
when you're not really dealing with stuff. How many of y'all have had an expectation, had a conversation, and was looking forward to your man or woman coming back to converse about it? Type a one in the chat if that's you. Like you've lifted up something and he or she said, I'm gonna get back at you. I'm gonna come back, holler at you, and we're gonna bring this to completion, to resolution. Whether it be us compromising, but some way collaboratively, we're gonna get to whatever the end point is. But he or she don't do it. And so when that takes place, that conversation is still hanging, y'all. It's still hanging, and as a result, by you not following through, it leads to over time an erosion of trust. Over and over and over again, you're making empty promises about, like, I'm gonna double back and have this conversation with you. I'm gonna do the thing that I said that I was gonna do, and you're not fulfilling it.
Yeah.
It weakens the trust when you don't follow back up and have the conversation. But even outside of that, unresolved issues, as it pertains to actually getting into more significant things that may be impacting a household, the family, work related stuff, children, just following through and putting certain things in place. So for instance, I don't know who be running the finances in your house, but check this out. Like if there's an expectation that certain bills are being paid and there's a belief that you're actually doing it, but then you don't do it, but yet you're leading your partner to believe that you're actually doing it,
Mm-hmm.
it can lead to an erosion of trust because it all comes out in the wash. And so it's not just based off of doubling back and having these conversations. It's about you doing again the things that you said that you was going to do.
That's good. That's
It
good.
leads to an increased suspicion and paranoia. Like, how can I live my life with this person and they ain't following through?
Yeah.
They're just not honoring their word. And you want to make sure you're being integrous and honoring your word in a relationship. So number one is that there's an erosion of trust when there's unresolved issues.
That's good. That's good. So I know many of you all identify with that. You're like, because I don't be really, I be double checking back behind my partner sometimes on some things because I don't believe that they're gonna come back and actually do what they said they're gonna do. And that's not something. And you might be the person to be doing that. You need to like pay attention to that. It's not small because when it happens over time, over and over again, it really becomes a feature of your relationship. It becomes how your partner sees you. You know how anybody know what I'm talking about? When you're young, you may have had this happen with your own parents, or you saw adults in your family did it. You know how like they just put a label on you. Oh, Junior always boom boom boom. Right? Parents can do this and adults can do this with young people. But we like whatever they did, they messed up or they a certain kind of way as a young person. We just kind of put that label on them, and it gets stuck. Well, the same thing can be true for your relationship. And your partner put a label on you, and then you be struggling trying to get up out that label. Like that's not me. I don't be like that. But if you're not following through, if you don't, if your word is not your bond, then you be faking. You be faking, and people could just say you be faking. You don't be serious, right? And then you get mad about it. But that's the real deal. The second thing, y'all, is that emotional distance. There's an impact. Emotional distance happens when you don't address issues. Even when both of y'all, it's couples. We talk about this as well in the work that we do. There are couples who are conflict avoidant. Both people actually value avoiding the conflict. So you want
Right.
to get through it, but you don't want to go too far into it, and you want to make sure that like we ain't about to be beefing and like it's gonna be like cold and nobody talking in here for the next 7 days. So y'all go a little bit, but you don't go too far. So both of you are what we call conflict avoidant. And when you have that kind of dynamic and things are not being addressed, oh my goodness, what you don't realize is that while you are making nice on the outside, you are creating a lot of emotional distance on the inside where I can't feel you. You can't feel me. So we might be going through all the motions, taking care of the kids, doing all the things, showing up to church, you know what I'm saying? Going to the birthday party, to the family reunion, the cookout, all of those things. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't really mess with
I
you
don't
like
mess
that
with
for real.
you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I you're my husband.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. You're my wife, and I don't really mess with you like that because I don't really trust you, as my husband just talked about. And I really haven't been able to get close to you in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts for a minute because we don't go there. We don't go there and have conversations that allow us to get into a place where it does feel awkward, where it does feel funky, where it does feel unsafe or just irritating or uncomfortable. But then what people don't know is that once you start to ride that ride in that conversation and you start to practice doing that over and over again, what ends up happening is you come over the hill and you get into a place where you see your partner differently, where you actually start to appreciate their heart, where there's been some vulnerability. Maybe there was a tear or two. There's some acceptance that happens. You can get some understanding, and y'all actually get to a place where you are closer emotionally. Even disconnection, even disagreement, even anger can bring you closer. But if you never go there and you don't address the issues, then there's emotional distance. And I mess with you just about as much as I mess with my coworker. You know what I'm saying? I don't really holler at you. Like I don't really, because I can't feel you. So when we don't address the issues, trust is at risk, and emotional distance is at risk. Lots of things happen. People get in their feelings. They withhold affection. They don't even know they're doing it. Sometimes that's y'all women, y'all do know you're doing it. You're like, you're not getting up in this, no time soon. And that just be how y'all be doing. And all of
Yeah,
that is
that's facts.
unhealthy, and it's not good. It's not
How
good.
many of y'all have experienced emotional distance in your relationship, whether it be right now or in a previous relationship? Just emotional distance based off of unresolved stuff. I mean, I want to normalize the fact that it happens,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that it's right, but what I am saying is that it happens, and so just because it happens, it doesn't mean that we can't do what it is that we need to do in order to resolve it and move through it. But again, to know that experiencing unresolved stuff, emotional disconnect, it comes with the territory. In some way, sometimes y'all, real talk, it's actually the pathway to growth, healing, and significant progress in your relationship, depending upon how you view it. So it's a perspective piece, but it's really important for you to see it through the lens of, we got this unresolved stuff. There's emotional disconnect. Now, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? And so again, we're talking about the side effects of unresolved issues, but it don't have to stay there, y'all. It doesn't have to stay there. Another impact of unresolved issues in your relationship is the fact that it can lead to increased tension and conflict.
Lord knows.
Yeah, you can become extremely hypersensitive to everything when there's unresolved issues in your relationship. If he look at you the wrong way, if she breathed the wrong way, like, you're just hypercritical and hypersensitive. And so, and a part of that is because of the fact that like we're not addressing the stuff that needs to be addressed. You're not doubling back and having that conversation that you need to have with me around who such and such was that you was on the phone with, and then closed it when you ended up coming in the door real quick.
Wow.
Like I didn't see you actually getting off the phone.
And these are some things I just want to give you some ideas around. I see your question, Can's Kitchen. I'm coming to you in 1 second. But around some of these everyday things that people have a difficulty with. And here's the thing: sometimes we're so used to like the roles that we play in our relationships that we be irritated about stuff, but we still be doing it. We don't really expect for a change, but we still don't like the fact that we feel like things are not balanced in terms of responsibility, for example, or whatever. And what I want you to know is that these things not being addressed also can destroy your connection. So
Hmm.
just because you get used to it, it's like, I don't know, but we can get used to being numb. We can get used to the things that we don't like, and so used to it
Yeah.
that we don't even like really for real try to change it. We don't even really try to address the thing because we're just used to doing it, right? So when we think about the household responsibilities and chores around the house and who's doing what, I hear so many women talking about, I'm sitting up here like taking care of all of this. I go to work just like he go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do anything less than what he does, but I'm the one who's responsible for all of this, right? And not bringing that forward, the frequency, the division of responsibilities, that piece can lead to destruction of your connection. Finances, who's paying the bills, how they're getting handled. My husband talked about that earlier. You want this?
Mm-mm.
You can take this.
I'm not trying to get that.
Oh, okay. Time management, right? Like some people think that they should be at work from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, midnight. they putting it in and they getting it in, and meanwhile your partner's at home like your priorities are out of order, right? Just can't seem to come together and have an agreement on the priorities. Like, wait a minute, I mean, the kids don't never see you. I don't ever see you. Parenting, and there are a lot of men out there. It's gonna be real. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's a lot, but it's a decent amount. And even and this how it be. Even men who know better, they don't say it out loud. Out loud on the inside, they be feeling like, they think like that's your job. You go to the school thing and you take care of the report card, show up time, or what is called, what do you call it,
Parent teacher conference,
progress report meetings, parent teacher conference. Why act like we ain't got no kids? Like we don't have, we got
you just tired.
one left in school. No, two left. Damn, I'm really tired.
Yeah, you tired.
I want to move them on along, y'all. Want to move them along. We got two left. So we got a rising senior and a rising third grader. So that piece right there, it can lead to a destruction of connection, right? If I start to not respect the way you parent, the way you deal with our children, especially as a mother, if I don't really respect the way you do things, and I'm questioning now your intentions and your ability to actually be able to nurture and take care of our children, that's a dangerous ass place to be for a mother. I'm your wife, and I need to make sure that I attend to you. But if I'm questioning that because of how you show up, that's not a good place to be in. It destroys connection because there's some things that really need to be addressed. So again, if you're just joining us tonight, IG, what's going on? We're talking about unaddressed issues, and when you don't address stuff, the impacts to your relationship and how it can destroy your connection and ultimately your relationship. And sometimes we don't even recognize that we participate in it. We know things are a certain way. In-laws and extended family. I'm just giving a few more examples of these areas, everyday areas where we disagree and we don't address these issues in terms of, how much should they be able to be over here? How much time are we spending with them? How much influence are they allowed to have? How much are you telling them our business? Those kinds of things need to get solved. They need to get solved. Even pets and people's social lives, social lives. But my husband, it has been often heard saying in my presence, about even whether it's our kids or I don't know, maybe sometimes you feel like with me, like, oh, you're doing something, like it's doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, sit down, like, But I am an extrovert, and he is an introvert. The children he's talking about when he's speaking that way, they're extroverts. He's introverts, right? There are differences that we have, but we still need to be able to get to like, how can we make room for one another, but make sure that the connection is still happening? So, all of that stuff, I could go on and on, decision making, work-life balance, and all of that kind of stuff, but you got to address the issues. You got to address the issues. That's really, really important. So we're on to number 3.
Number 4.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about number 3. We was talking about this whole piece around
go back over it. I just
increased conflict and tension. You ain't gotta come for me.
I'm not coming for you. I just know that
you're trying to like monitor whether or not I go back and hit the points or not. My wife, she be trying to control the amount of time that I speak, but you see, she be talking the most.
I'm not.
She be talking the most.
I'm not trying to control them.
I'm serious.
I'm just saying, I ain't need you to recap the whole job. I'm just saying,
my bad.
Whatever number we on.
My bad. YouTube is saying the volume is. I actually realized
they did that.
No, I'm saying I realized midstream that I didn't have the mics plugged up, and so I plugged the mics up. But for some reason, it's not coming through.
These ain't even on.
They're not on right now.
I'm gonna move this out the way.
But it's not. It wasn't. But when I plugged it up, it wasn't coming through on YouTube. So,
all right.
Yeah. So we here. All right, number 4. But before we get to number 4, y'all, I want to say this. So what we've done is we've actually opened up and made something really special available to all of the folks that are watching. We got, if you want to work with us one-on-one directly, we have limited space, y'all. We
have a great promotion going on right now.
Yeah, we do. You can work with us one-on-one coaching. Get 4 sessions plus an initial exploratory session. Go to blamspecialoffer.com. And you can get it for 68% off. So I would say go there. We'll drop the link in both places. Blamspecialoffer.com. We only have 5 spots left, though. 5 spots left.
I think it's 4.
It's 4 now? Okay. So 4 spots left. If you're trying to hop on that, I would advise you to go ahead and do that.
Sorry, y'all, I don't mean to be frowning into the thing. I'm trying to find a question from earlier that I saw.
All right, number 4. We're going to keep it moving.
You're just going oh, wait a minute, I found it. Can's Kitchen. Regarding number 2. Say, okay, I want... how do you approach it when one person is very communicative, but the other is emotionally avoidant? Oh, that's a fabulous question.
Yeah, you go ahead and knock it out.
You want me to knock that out?
Yeah.
So I won't go too detailed. But what I will say is this. So there's a couple of things to think about. For me, oh, I don't know if they can actually hear the sound go out. For me, if I think about even my own relationship with my husband, y'all, I consider myself to be a really good communicator. I might use too many words at times, but I always considered myself to be that from early on in our marriage. And I felt like I would talk. And my husband would be a little avoidant. Or if I would just be directly trying to talk about something or address something, it did seem he was avoidant, emotionally, didn't want to get into it, was hesitant about even having whatever the conversation was. But one of the things, I'm just going to say this, that I learned over time is that just because you talk easily or it comes you have quick opinions or thoughts and you can express them pretty easily doesn't mean you know how to communicate. It doesn't mean you know how to communicate. So I learned that about myself, that just because I could talk, that didn't mean I was communicating well. And so I was communicative, but my skills were not good. And so a couple of things that are really important for people who are less apt to get into it, they don't really want to get into it. First of all, just one thing you can do is just say, hey, especially when you want to talk about something that's going to require more than just a few minutes and it might be a little more complex, is to give them a heads up. Look, I want to talk about such and such, or I'd like for us to have a conversation. Can we do that on Wednesday night? Now, some of y'all, especially if you hot like me and direct, you like, Wednesday night? What day is it when we say this? Sunday? Monday? How many days I gotta wait? But this is about us practicing, making room for the person who does not get into it as easily. But the point is giving them a heads up. Also, when you do that, they have time to prepare. They have time to get themselves right. And then you have a time where you know you can actually get into the situation. The other thing is there's the whole boatload of things, a list of things that you could do differently, but it depends on the person. The way for you to figure that out is just to ask your person. What are some of the ways that, like, I'm not even trying to personalize it. I'm not going to personalize it. I really want to know what are some things that I do when I'm talking, or when I'm sharing with you, or when I bring stuff to you that, just it's not helpful for you.
Hmm.
And you'll find out some things you already know about yourself. And then you'll also find out perhaps some things that you think like, that would never bother me. That's like not even a thing, but it's a thing for your partner. And then start working on those things. So that's the what comes up for me right off the top.
Yeah, and the thing that's been extremely helpful for me is that my wife, she would actually endeavor to create, I mean, over and over and over again, really pursue and attempt to create that sense of emotional safety. And so, as much as I may be reluctant, hesitant, and actively resist sometimes, really leaning into emotional engagement, the more she did it, the more it actually built a certain level of trust because I could depend on her and to show that she was concerned about me. And so sometimes, men specifically will resist, but that don't mean don't come get me. Like
So you
sometimes,
saying that with
sometimes,
the issue you want me to, but the issue ain't, I'm not always trying to come show I'm concerned about you. I mean, sometimes, but it's just sometimes talking about things that you
yeah,
don't
but
even
in
want to
terms
talk about
of,
at all.
I know, but so how do you approach it if one person is very communicative, but the other is emotionally avoidant? So if it's issue related, that's something different. I'm talking about, again, even outside of it being issue related, you want to establish a framework where he increases his comfort expressing and engaging in conversation with you. And the way that you do that is by creating the emotionally safe space for him to increase his comfort. And so the more you do that, then the more apt he'll be to engage, even if it's around an issue, just simply because that's actually building trust in the relationship. I know that it's okay for me to converse with you because in non-confrontational spaces, we're building safety. And so when it comes to situations where there may be some more intricacy and just challenging conversations that we need to be having, then based off of history and us having conversations around less intense stuff, we're building a reputation, not a reputation, but we're building this collection of experiences that lead me to believe that it's okay for me to engage you when it may be a little bit more of an uncomfortable conversation. So it's about stacking. It's conversation stacking, emotion stacking, and consistently doing what you need to do to create that sense of safety, so that he may be less avoidant even when he don't really want to have the conversation. So.
And I just want to validate, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I've heard women say that, like it's exhausting being the one who always got to keep bringing up the stuff and keep bringing it back and keep trying to make it more comfortable. It's been 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't comfortable yet. But the reality is that what my husband's saying is true. It's been many years. We've been together for 22 years, married, and 28 together overall. And Aisha has made,
29.
oh, I'm sorry, 29 overall. I got the number of married years correct. But you have made shifts and changes and have gotten better, but they have been painfully slow. It's been a painfully slow process. I just want you to know that, like, I
Painfully
mean,
slow.
just real, this is real. And I'm sure you can say the same with me in any number of areas. It's been, it's not been like, oh, you feel safe, it's all good, no. It's like, damn, like, when you this time, this long, and this how you be, you still, you know? So I'm just saying, some things we got to pick and choose our battles. I just knew, even though it irritated the hell out of me, that I'm going to be the one to bring it up. Then I'm going to bring it up. And next year I'll bring it up. And tomorrow I'll bring it up. Like that has been my role in a lot of ways. And so everything can't be perfect, but you can be making progress.
Yeah, and I be bringing stuff back up. Like, I mean, I brought some stuff up today.
You said back up after I brought it up initially?
No,
I'm
I'm
just,
saying not, because I mean, you've actually said, my wife, and this is another piece, y'all,
I'm just
too.
saying in terms of
Just be
like,
clear about those boundaries. Like sometimes you got to make the decision that you're not going to bring it back up. And if he gets, Yvonne talking about cue the music. If he gets it, if he really gets it and understands it, then he'll step up. He'll step up to the plate. Like, but he got to be challenged. And if you're doing it for him all the time, then
yeah,
he ain't gonna be
and it's
challenged.
going to take time.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
It
not
is
going
gonna
to
take
race that
time.
point.
You pressed, huh?
I just want you
You
to
pressed
know.
to like keep on hammering that
I'm
point
just
home.
saying, I just want people to know it's not like it just happens overnight. I didn't start using less words to talk overnight. I know how to do it when I need to do it, but that's hard as hell for me.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? And so you didn't start using more words than engaging overnight either.
But you ain't had to say that part though.
No, I think people need to know, especially the women out there who's like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord have mercy. What do I do? What do I do? Because I hear that all the time. What do I do?
All
What do
right,
I
number
do?
5.
What do I do to help them? And it's like, baby, let me just tell you, all the things we're saying you do, but you need to understand that once you've done what you can do, and it's a song in church, when you've done all that you can, something like that. But you have to have some emotional kind of regulation and distance from it a bit, so that you can just know, I've done what I can. I'm gonna come back to it, but let me get a little breather, because change is incremental. So if you didn't get anything else from tonight, just know that for everybody, change is incremental. It happens small, consistent changes over time when people are working. It doesn't happen all the time in big, swoops and stuff like that. So just remember that.
I think the important piece about that song is that, when you've done all that you can, I think it says something about you got to stand, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you got to stand. And so you be thinking I don't be listening sometimes, but I actually do be
If
listening.
that was a song, I didn't even sing the right melody.
Yeah, I do. Just
sang that
stand. Thank
wrong.
you, Yvonne. Just stand. And so that is in alignment with what you're talking about. You got to do the work. You got to recognize that you got to move. And you might be the tortoise, you might be the hare, but you got to move. And so, but you got to stand first.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Is that what? Okay.
Yeah,
You
number
go ahead.
5.
Go ahead. Number
No, you go
five.
ahead with number 5.
Is this number 5?
Yeah, that's number 5.
I think it's number 4, but I'm gonna call it number 5. Y'all ain't gonna be sexing when you don't address issues. You ain't gonna be no sex happening.
Oh, this
after
is
a while.
number 4.
Okay, the intimacy is not gonna be where it needs to be. We already established that, but sexual intimacy, that physical intimacy, a lot of times is gonna be impacted. Now there are couples who know how to distinguish and separate. Like, no, I need to get mine. You need to get yours. We can get back to that tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get into it right now. I have seen that, and I was
And this goes both ways, y'all.
yeah, for men and for women. But there are a lot of people who, when you're feeling a disconnect, you're like, I'm not about to do nothing with you. And one of the things that we always say is when it is pervasive and persistent over a long period of time, again, these issues are not being addressed over time. That's dangerous, because where is your opportunity to build your connection? Where are your opportunities to strengthen your bond? physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. So that is something that I think people might know. Like I know people, at least in our community, in our membership community, the Blamley knows like you should not be withholding sex. You should not just not be doing it. But I know y'all be doing it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know I shouldn't. I don't think I withhold. Do I? No,
I don't let
I
you
don't.
withhold.
I don't.
I'm gonna come get it. I'm just
This
saying.
don't let me. I don't even do that. I don't do that.
You be trying.
I think I
You be
did.
trying.
No. Oh, being mad over something though.
Yeah, you be trying. Like I don't know how many times you told
Well, I
me
mean, I might, but I'm not really like
don't.
withholding. I'm just like I'm not giving you no energy. Like I'm in my feelings. So, but you can't stay in that place. You just
Yeah.
it's really dangerous. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times my husband, he's a G when it comes to that. I will say, he
Mm.
knows how to soften me up and
Cause that's what y'all be wanting.
he just be so for those who when your partner is just shutting it down and just having a and you want to do the same thing, well, fine then. Don't do that. And I
Yeah.
have to do the same thing with Thais at times. I will say he's better at it than I am. But you know what I'm saying? Like that, you can soften them up. Y'all can move beyond the stuckness. But somebody got to be willing to put themselves out there.
Hmm.
You know, and do a little bit of like coming up behind you in the bed and pressing their body up against you a little bit and just going like this, you know, things go places. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's not about being in the bed, right? It's just about coming back together and connecting. Somebody got to do that. Why not you? Why not you? Ellen said, woo me back.
You know, I asked because Ellen lifted up the word woo. Last night I asked some folks. I said, you know, my wife should be all caught up on watching this whole Bridgerton piece
Oh,
and
does
all of
anybody
that.
else watch Bridgerton? Oh, I love
And the
it.
other day I was doing some work and I heard some sounds coming from the room that she was in where she was watching it, and I was saying to myself like, yo, I'm trying to work and it sounds like you watching soft porn. You know what I'm saying? And I said, so what's the fascination? And it's not like I haven't watched one season of it, I think. But so I'm aware of the show. But you know, the degree to which like my wife and other women be on that joint, I was like, what's the fascination? And so Amber came on last night and she hit me. And the first thing she said was, it's all about the woo.
It's all of it. This whole show is about the
It's
woo,
about the
okay?
woo.
Didn't I tell you that earlier? I
Why
said,
the hearts start going off like they're going
oh
off
my
right now when I
gosh.
lift up Bridgerton on
Oh my
YouTube?
gosh, it's so good because it's not it's the romance and the intimacy and the intention. It's all, the courting, all of that. Oh, I love it. It's that is
So I
the
know my
oh,
wife. I know my
I love
wife
it.
love it, but why my wife block a bid for connection earlier? I said to my wife,
No, yeah.
I said, boo, you know, how about we watch like some of Bridgerton? And I actually said this last night to the women that was on. Actually, it was during our office hours yesterday. I said it to the women. I said,
Yes, Ellen, the waiting and the wanting. My God,
I'm a offer to watch it with my wife. And my wife, she looked at me.
I was confused because he literally be like, I'm not watching that. You know, he'd be like looking at me like, what? What?
She looked at me like I was crazy. But on top of that, she also looked at me in a protective way as well. Almost like this is mine. And so, ladies, y'all might be able to resonate
I
with it.
did. I didn't.
It felt like that. Like this is my space. Like this is for me to consume and for me to watch.
Now I'm watching
And I don't
Charlotte,
want
Queen
you over
Charlotte.
there.
I'm watching
And then
Queen
I
Charlotte.
said, "You want me to watch Queen Charlotte with you?" And she was like, "No." Oh,
I did not say
you got
no.
a problem with the way I watch TV? Like really?
No, I said I already watched the first episode, so
Hmm.
you know, I was just
Yeah.
like, why we watched The Shy, and we
Hmm.
watch what is it, Black BMF,
BMF and
Black
yeah.
Mafia family. We watch
Hmm.
all the black shows basically. So okay, we getting off track. All
But your
right,
sex life gonna be killed.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to happen, and so you cannot continue to not address the issues. And men, you want more sex? Speak to the issue. You want more intimacy? Talk to her heart. You want more head? Say what's up. What's really going on in terms of what she's been talking to you about? Okay, like that's just real talk. I promise you, it's gonna happen more when you actually deal with the issues. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times over the life of our relationship where I have said to my husband, like, just because I'm not walking around with an attitude because he's starting to try to get close doesn't mean that the issue has not been addressed, Aisha, and that we have not talked about. Like, it doesn't mean that there's still not something that we need to discuss. I say it just like that. And he'd be
Hmm.
like, I know, babe, I know. I'm like, so what I'm really saying is, let's talk about it. Let's get to it. Okay. So if you want more, get to it. Number five, this is our final situation. Again, if you are just joining us tonight, we're talking about, I don't remember the title. What is it? Five
Five
effects.
ways unresolved
Oh,
issues
destroy your
destroy your
connection.
connection.
Destroy
Yeah.
your connection. And you can go to blamspecialoffer.com, BLAM, as a Black Living Marriage specialoffer.com. We have limited space to
Yeah.
investigate working with us one on one because we have a 68% discount going on right now. So we encourage you to take advantage of it and do not avoid the issues. You see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, you have an opportunity. So number five, y'all. What's number five? Oh, there's been research over time. In the field that we're in, there are a lot of studies where they're studying married couples and so forth, and people who have been in long-term committed relationships. And for those who register as high in terms of their overall relationship satisfaction, like long-term satisfaction, when they've been together for a while, at least 10 years and more, when there are people who are overall, I am satisfied. We have our stuff as all married couples do, but I am fulfilled. I have a good life. I enjoy my husband. I enjoy my wife. I enjoy what we built, spending time doing what we do, the new experiences we have. There are people who are in that category. And then there are people who are in the category of, I am not fulfilled. We've been together 10 years, 15, 20, 25. I am not fulfilled. I am not happy. Overall, we have had moments of good stuff, but overall, I've not been good. It has been consistent that in those studies, those people say there's a stack up of unaddressed issues. There's a stack up of that time back in 95 when you was gone for a whole night and you didn't come back until early in the morning, and we never talked about it. And even when I tried to multiple times, you just kept dipping and dodging, and then it just went away. There's that time where there was money in the account, and then it was missing, and I don't know what happened, and we never addressed it. Whatever. I'm giving you examples. I'm making this up, right? But unaddressed issues are the leading cause of long-term relationship dissatisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I want to be sitting on the porch with my husband because I told him, we're gonna be moving to Georgia. Georgia? I'm gonna be moving to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about that. We're in California, we're on the West Coast, but we're going to be moving to the ATL. And I said, eventually, not right when we get there, because I gotta see. How you gotta get there and see. I need to see what's up. Anybody from the ATL, let me know. So we won't get into our place where we're gonna be. I'm going into stuff that
Yeah, it's not even
ain't even important.
necessary.
I don't care. I'm still saying we're not gonna get into our permanent place as soon as we get there, right? But eventually, I have a dream house, and in my dream house, one day, I want to, I could do a whole show about my dream house. But one feature is that I want a wraparound porch that I can sit on with my husband. And, it's big enough and wide enough that eventually, not no time soon, I don't want to be a grandparent right now. No, thank you. Let's push that out the atmosphere. But later on down the lane, right, they can be running around on the porch, you know what I'm saying? Family can come over. We have room for people. It's, I'm on this porch. But there are plenty of people who will never get to that space. They'll never be in a place where they arrive at that sense of deep satisfaction with their partner because there's so many unaddressed issues. And what we do in our relationships and what we do as individuals is we strengthen our behaviors by practicing them over and over again. So the more you practice not bringing up the thing, the more you practice avoiding talking about what your wife is trying to get at, but you keep acting like you don't know. The more you all continue to avoid the conflict, the better you get at it. The better you get at it. And you'll be 79, still avoiding the conflict because you'll be a professional then. And without even ever talking about these things with your children and your children's children, you're passing that kind of behavior down. You're passing it down. Avoidance. We're not addressing this. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about that. And I know I don't want to be that way. Yes, but with the big old porch swing, girl, so I can't, I'm telling you, that thing gonna be good. So we have to make sure that we're not sitting in a place, all of us who are like-minded, where we get to the end of the road and it's like, yeah, overall, I have not been satisfied. Who wants that?
Mm-hmm.
What is the point? If you think you're gonna get there, just tap out now. I don't understand what the point is. I don't understand why we stay in it if we think that that's really a possibility. I do know why. It's a whole lot of things like finances and convenience and all that kind of stuff. But
That's
we got to be better
that's
than that.
that right there is heavy. If you, I mean, so for some people that are in relationships and in marriages right now, to project outward and or just project forward 20, 30 years, what does that look like? So what you just said to me, like the vision that you painted, the picture
Hmm.
that you painted,
We can't hear you guys.
oh, you can't?
What happened?
Uh, I don't know.
Y'all can't hear us. Can y'all hear us on IG? Y'all can hear us, right? But y'all can't. You can hear us now, Spencer. Oh, we just fell off for a minute. We back. Okay.
Um, what was I saying? So for me, the idea of like looking forward, projecting forward, and really envisioning yourself 30 years from now, like what that looks like. The picture that my wife painted, it's exactly what I want. It's accurate, and it feels good to me, with an Arnold Palmer, and it's on point. And so, but if in your vision, it's just stank. It's you all being avoidant. It's you all bumping heads. It's you all experiencing tension and frustration and overwhelm and stress and just mean mugging each other as y'all rock back and forth when y'all rocking chairs and avoiding each other, not really having conversations. Then that right there is nasty, y'all. It to me is misery. I don't want that, and I'm not going to experience that. And so, if you think that that is your future, I encourage you to make some adjustments, some changes now. And you got the capacity to do it. Like it doesn't mean that you got to stay stuck here, but you will stay stuck if you don't do something intentional to shift it. And so again, do the work, fam. Do the work. Like don't let that be your future. Start creating your future right now by making shifts and changes, which will impact your trajectory. All right. All right, fam, we're going to go ahead and put a pin in it right there. Again, go to blamspecialoffer.com. We got 68% off of coaching with myself and my wife. And if you want that work, we only got 4 spots left. So go there. I dropped it on YouTube, on Instagram. I'll drop it over here after I hang up with YouTube and the Blamely. But yeah, Yvonne, rewrite the vision. Rewrite the vision. That's what you got to do. All right, good people, y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and stop letting that stuff sit up under the rug, y'all. Those unresolved issues. Lift up the rug, take a look at it. That's what doing the work is about, y'all. Lifting up the rug. Like right now, what we doing inside of my King Me Intensive is a 30-day intensive that I got going on. We lifting up the rug. We lifting up the rug and taking a look at ourselves so that we can actually become better. So if you're a man, you can actually hop on in and get that work as well. But you got to lift up the rug and recognize that those unresolved issues are going to be there unless you address them. So we got to deal with them, and that's what I'm challenging everybody on here to do. Deal with those unresolved issues.
That's good.
Take that rug out and shake that sucker. Yeah,
All right, are we
yeah, we complete.
complete? Everybody, thank you for watching tonight. I like that, Yvonne. Rewrite the vision. We encourage you to take just at least one thing, if nothing else, one thing that stood out to you, and make sure that you apply it. Don't just be a consumer of the information. Do something.
Why you out of breath?
Okay. I was running up the steps. I'm not running every day 10 miles like you or whatever you be doing. Okay? Have some grace. Bye, everybody.